There are many legends of the phantoms that are surrounded by myth and terror. But given the tendency for myths to be exaggerated over time, most of them can be cast aside as just that, myths. But there are some figures in phantom history who are as the legends say, and they are truly deserving of the fearful reputation that the phantoms have gained over the years. And one who is almost purely responsible for the darker aspects is the dreaded Halvengür. Some are even as bold to refer to him as the Dark Lord, dwelling and controlling his underground temple, with his dark phantom knights killing and riding out on his command. And to put it bluntly, all of this has some aspect of truth. He is a dark figure, and was in control for most of the phantom people for the longest time. But to tell you his tale, I need to set the stage for a few things first. For start, to add some context to the situation, have you ever seen a phantom without their armor, or gotten a glance at their skin and thought something was amiss, that they looked undead, withered, decayed, ancient, like a wandering corpse? Well, in short, that's because almost half of all phantoms are undead. Sort of. See, one of the temples, that being Skoltar, has all of its members become this state via a initiation rite, and the practice is also quite common to those higher-ups of other temples as well, and this is all due to Halvengür and his dark rituals. And if you are the type to not believe in magic, this tale is going to get very far-fetched very quickly. See, quite a lot of phantoms have learned how to cheat death. They are near immortal, prolonging their life for entire ages in order to follow their creed and objective for as long as they can. The only way they can actually die is to be bested in battle, something that rarely happens with phantoms, other than the likes of perhaps marauders. And this is all thanks to his actions and teachings. How he did this is a bit of a mystery, some not even knowing any tale. And most are quite contradictory, so I shall tell you one that I've actually heard from a phantom. I will retell it a little bit, giving a little bit of context. See, the Lord of Skoltar, Halvengür, found the corpse of the protector dragon of the temple that fell during the Eventide. Their name lost to history, but their sacrifice will be remembered forever. Upon seeing the dragon's mighty corpse, he knew that death was to be avoided. But he took it differently than most. As the legend goes, he wandered the world, looking for death himself, and after years of searching, he found him, and made but a single demand. You are not to have power over those of my circle, or those who perform my rite, was his one demand. It is unknown why, but Death actually agreed to the demands of Halvengür. Some legends even state that he battled Death to a standstill, and Death, in meeting his equal, grew respectful, so he granted him his wish. Regardless, he had his demand, and Death had no power over him or those who would perform his rite. And in so doing, he went back to his home and trained his inner circle on how to perform his rite. Over time, all members of Skoltar were made to take up the rite of Halvengür, and become unliving and untouched by age. Over time, some members of the other temples would start to perform this rite as well, extending their lives supernaturally, but were still loyal to their own temples. But they were all unaware of the power this secretly gave Halvengür. See, he had a certain magical sway over those who performed it, and it is not complete control or manipulation, but more of a subtle influence over them. He corrupted them over time, making them more and more like him. This is why he is one of the most powerful phantoms of all time, and his influence extends into all the major temples, and even some of the minor ones. This is one of the main reasons some refer to him as a Dark Lord. But do not let this title mislead you. I have to bring this point up. Despite being known as a Dark Lord, he is not evil. True, he has a very corrupting power and influence over the land, but he does not use it for evil. He does so for what is best for his kind to survive, and avenge their ancestors, to do what all phantoms do. He is true to the Phantom Code. That code just happens to be surrounded by shadow and myth. But, with his newfound powers, he began to think of ways to fully use them, and he started to create many a mythical artifact. The first he made, and the one that is his predecessor, is the blade Murmur. A jagged little thing, but its humble appearance would betray its true nature. See, the blade stores the souls of those it kills, a personal love of Halvengür. It also is said that the Dark Lord can see through the blade, as well as talk to those who wield it. But that is not his most prized creation, or the one he is the most proud of. No. The thing he is the most proud of is his own child, the dreaded dragon Nogir. And yes, you heard that right. Halvengür actually created Nogir. Well, he had an experiment to create an entire clade of magical dragons. Many dark rituals were performed on many Night Snagger eggs, and the only fruit to bear from these experiments would be Nogir, the only hatchling who survived, and Halvengür grew proud of his accomplishment. He trained Nogir to be powerful, strong, wise, intelligent, and gifted in all regards, both physically and supernaturally. The perfect guardian to replace the one that was lost ages ago, and capable of stealing your very soul, just as his master before him. But Halvengür also bound him to a mystical horn known as the Skaltar Aria, something that would allow someone to summon him, in exchange for the dragon having power over the summoner, not too dissimilar to their master, and he likely did this not to hinder his creation, but to keep it in check in case something went wrong. Many legends and deeds have been said about the Dark Lord, and it's really hard to tell which of them are true and which are just myth. What is known for certain is his power over life and death, and his ability to extend one's life in exchange over a bit of power over them. But his specific deeds are lesser known and harder to track down. Some claim he is a one-man army, saving the world from powers unseen. Some claim that he is a demigod, living amongst the gods, as the sun god took a good liking to him. And some even say that he is a necromancer, reanimating and controlling the dead for whatever means he sees fit. I have even heard one story claim that he plans to take over the world as the Dark Lord above all, and just as many claim that he's not even real. He's a lie made by the phantoms to spread fear to those around them. But to me, all of these stories seem a bit too far-fetched and hard to confirm or deny, so discussing them anymore would be a little pointless. But whenever there is a slight against the phantoms, or their land is in need of protection and in true danger, he will protect them, and even make deals with those of the outside. Some legends speak that he one day worked with the mighty Stragita to slay a giant. But those who know the difference in age of the time periods should have noticed by now that if all of these legends are true, he is more than 1,000 years old, and by now he'd be closer to 2,000. His denial of death is true, and we can say that for sure. But whether he is still alive and around today remains to be seen. See, he's actually not been seen for quite a while. He no longer rules over the Skaltar Temple. Nogir now commands in his place, as his underling in a way. But that leaves us with the major question. Did he die? It is unlikely. If one were to have slain him, they most likely would have bragged about doing so, and I find it quite unlikely that a beast bested him. Another idea is that he was overthrown by his own creation, Nogir, to rule as a lesser Dark Lord in his place. but I don't think Halvengür would have allowed it. I think the Arya also would have helped him in preventing this as well, so it's quite unlikely. And from all I've heard, though an angry and hateful beast, Nogir is loyal to his master. What I personally believe is that he is in hiding. Perhaps he has seen a vision of something that is to come, and is preparing for it. Perhaps he wants to travel the lands for an unknown reason, or perhaps he just wanted a break from his long watch. But another idea I have heard is that he is dying. Maybe the magic that extends one's life does not last forever, and 2000 might be the near limit of this extension. Perhaps he senses deep within himself that he is fading, and is maybe finding a way to extend it more over. Even with all the fear that surrounds him, it would be a dark day to lose such a lord of this land. But I best stop here. I think a phantom might have already heard us speaking, and I think I've spoken enough sacrilege for one day. So, thank you for listening to my tales. I am the Ashspawn. Feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. But, till next we meet, fellow traveller, have a good day.